CA ഉപകരിക്കും എന്നതടക്കം പരാമർശങ്ങൾ രേഖയിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. നിലവിൽ സൗഹൃദം പങ്കിടുന്ന ബംഗ്ലാദേശിനെ അടക്കം പ്രസ്താവന ചൊടിപ്പിക്കുമെന്ന് കണ്ട് പിൻവലിച്ചെന്നാണ്
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the press conference today. Ellyse Perry will join us shortly. I request you all to put your questions in the chat box and then raise your hand if you want to ask the question, so we can go by the chronological order in which you have asked the question. Thank you. As I said, please put your questions in the chat box and raise your hand as well if you want to ask any questions. Thank you. Welcome, Ellyse, to the press conference. Divya, you are mute, I guess.
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you for joining us. It's been a great journey so far, especially after your knock against Mumbai Indians, and we have played really well. That was a fantastic inning. The team is in good mood now. We are in knockout stages. So how has been the feeling in the team, and about your performance in particular? What do you think?
Feeling in the team's really great. We're having a wonderful time. I think you know, the first leg of the tournament in Bangalore, playing at Chinnaswamy in front of our home crowd was just phenomenal, and we played some good cricket and some good results there. And then to come up to Delhi, and I think we've learned quite quickly about the conditions, and yeah, I think everyone's just been really enjoying their time together and the opportunity to play in front of some really great crowds. And yeah, we're feeling good. It's definitely really nice to have the opportunity to be playing in the finals this year, and yeah, a big match coming up on Saturday.
Thank you. So as I requested everyone, please put your questions in the chat box, and then raise your hand. I will unmute you and you can ask the questions. So
hello,
Sabyasachi, please ask your question. Thank you.
Perry, yesterday it was your menacing in-swingers that dominated, and it was more like you miss and I hit. So who was your favorite wicket yesterday, and do you feel that Harmanpreet's wicket was the turning point in a match as big as yesterday's?
I'm not sure. I think, yes, I actually thought we started the game really well. I know we didn't take wickets early, but I think that's probably our best bowling performance in the power play in the last few matches. And then I think we just managed to apply constant pressure throughout. It was certainly nice to pick up a fair chunk of wickets in the middle phase there and really halt Mumbai's momentum. But yeah, I just thought it was a really great all-round performance. Even the girls at the end there, you know, I guess every little run counted at the game last night because the conditions, they weren't, you know, super easy batting conditions. So the way that Sri Lanka finished, and also Soph, Molyneux, just to make sure that we really restricted them to a low total. I thought all those moments were really important in the match.
Thank you, Sabyasachi. Akash, please go ahead with your question. Thank you. Akash from News 18, please go ahead.
His mic is on, I think he isn't audible.
Okay, I guess we
Can you?
had a problem with him. We will come back to you shortly, Akash. Anuj, please go ahead. Anuj from Sports Kira, please go ahead with your question. Thank you.
Hi, Ellyse. Actually, my question to you was about the big stage. You have been a big match player for so many years now, and how do you think your experience would help this team, which is in this stage for the first time, having missed out the last time, and having performed once again when RCB really needed that win yesterday. How do you think of yourself, as someone who gives experience to this squad?
No, I think it's a brand new experience for all of us. This tournament is only in its second year, and it's really unique. I just think you look at the crowd participation and the way that the tournament's gone. It's really incomparable to any other tournament that I played in. So I think looking broadly at our team, we've got lots of great experience across the board, both from our international players, but also our local players. Someone like Asha has played for a long time, played a lot of cricket, is a senior cricketer. So I think it's nice to kind of have that blend across both, our local players and our international players. And really for us, certainly making the finals this year was a huge priority. And I think, we've started to play some good cricket at the right time. So, in any big match, it's just about turning up and doing absolutely everything you can to win the important moments. But that rests on all of our shoulders right across the group. And I guess having played 8 games together now this season, we've got a really good feel amongst ourselves as to what our roles are and how we can contribute to the side. And on any given night, that's going to, be a bigger role for one player than the other. But I think it's just the total team contribution in big moments. It's going to be important for us.
Thank you, Perry. We will now go to Chandra. Chandra, I am unmuting you. Please ask your question. Please go ahead. Chandra Maulidas, please.
Hello, Ellyse. Firstly, congratulations on your emphatic contribution last night. I mean, it was brilliant to watch. I just wanted to ask you, so this is the first time RCB is making into the playoffs, and it's been quite a turnaround from not being able to and now qualifying for the playoffs. So building on what you said, you guys are playing the right cricket at the right time. So has there been any shift in attitude or something that's been exchanged, like words in the dressing room that's motivated you guys, something that's tweaked inside the mindset of the players?
I just think overwhelmingly there's a really strong sense of calmness and people enjoying themselves. Luke Williams has brought a lot to the group from that perspective. I think he's been really clear from the start, along with the other coaches, just to give us all the confidence and the clarity that our best cricket will be competitive enough in this competition. And so I think, from that perspective, and having that knowledge as a group, we've just really enjoyed each other's company, in the dressing room and certainly on the field. There's been lots of smiles. That's been a huge focus to just go out there and enjoy it, because it's a pretty special tournament. As I said, the crowds have been amazing. We had the chance to play at home for 5 matches as well, which was super special. And now being here in Delhi, it's just been a really great chance for the group to spend more time together. So to answer your question, I think it's just being calm and enjoying every opportunity we get as a team.
Correct. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chandra. Hey, we have this question from Hindustan Times, Shalini. What difference did you experience preparation-wise in the RCB camp as compared to last season? Also, how has been Smriti's captaincy in this WPL?
I don't think there's drastic difference, to be honest. We're just another year into the competition. The team as a whole has had more time together. I guess like last year, it took a bit to find our feet. There's never too much difference in franchise cricket between teams being successful and not. But I think this year that, as I said, there just seems to be a real sense of calmness amongst the group. We all really understand one another's roles. We've got to know each other better on and off the field. So I guess, just the luxury of a bit more time together has made a big difference. Smriti has led the group exceptionally well. I think, her personality is quite introverted. So she's so big on developing, relationships with each player and really making sure that she knows that like we're supporting her, but also that she's been able to develop a relationship with us. So, that takes time as well. But I think, there's so much upside to that, and the fact that we can step on the field really knowing each other and supporting each other has been great. So hopefully that keeps building for us.
I will go back to Akash. He couldn't ask his question last time. Akash, please go ahead, ask your question.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you
Got
are.
you.
Yeah, hi Ellyse. Sorry for this disturbance. So, a video of the RCB dressing room right from the last game went viral, where almost all of you guys were really heartbroken. I just wanted to know, did that loss pushed you all for this commanding win? I mean, what was the mindset coming into this game, and how your experience has been so far bowling in this WPL, since you guys are have played across two different venues?
We got so close the last match against Delhi, so certainly it was a tough loss, but I also think, to keep things very much in perspective, the sun always comes up the next day, and no matter how hard it feels at the time, it is just a game of sport. And I think to have each other there when something like that happens, it's easy to pick yourself back up and get going again. So we had a really good training session the next day after that game together. We all kind of just stuck together, and I think the overwhelming thing was just we were really excited for another opportunity to play. I think in any competition, particularly in T20, you've got to kind of be expecting to have some moments go your way and other moments be tough and not quite fall your way. But I think the experience across two different venues this time around has been great. As I said a few times, playing at home in front of our fans at Chinnaswamy was phenomenal, and then to come up to Delhi, I think the conditions are a fair bit different, the way that the wickets play in the ground dimensions, so having to adjust to that has been a really good challenge for all the teams involved, and certainly shown some different games of cricket as a result. So that's been really cool too, and I think we've adapted as we've gone. Certainly the last two matches in Delhi, we've played some really good cricket and sort of understanding the conditions better. So excited for another opportunity in a few days' time.
Ellyse, question from Sports Star. You targeted the stumps for most part of a spell last night. Could you take us through your mental makeup when you were running to bowl in the match?
Look, nothing too different. I think sometimes it just goes your way, and night kind of pans out how you'd like it to. Other nights it doesn't quite go that way. But I mean, I guess the conditions were conducive to the ball moving around a little bit off the seam, and when that happens, if you can kind of get it near the stumps, I think you're always in the game. So that sort of went my way. I think saw that with some of Mumbai's bowlers as well. Like, they were really dangerous when they targeted the stumps. So yeah, I just really enjoyed bowling last night and enjoyed the opportunity to contribute to the team. It was lots of fun, and I think, as I said, we started the game really well. We might not have taken the wickets that we wanted early, but I think we had a good grasp on the game, and something we've really targeted as a team to start well with the power play and our bowling. So yeah, it was just a really nice feeling for that to come together for us last night, and yeah, I enjoyed being a part of it.
Thank you. Is a question, thank you. So this is from Women's Cricket Insight. What's the mindset like going into the eliminator? What's the mood in the camp right now?
Yeah, it's not going to change. I think, as I said, we feel pretty calm. We've been really enjoying our time together, and I think just really excited for another opportunity to play. Yeah, I think we've been really targeting just trying to put together the best game of cricket that we can, and I probably think that we haven't quite done that yet. So it just presents another really good opportunity for us. Yeah, we've got a couple of days off, which is nice too. Everyone's having a pretty chill day today, and then I'm sure we'll get together and train as a group tomorrow. So yeah, more than anything, I think everyone's just really excited.
A question from Click Info. How do you prepare and train for your bowling, given you haven't bowled much in recent times?
Yeah, I think just like probably a couple of things. I suppose I've played for a long period of time now, so yeah, I've got a bit of a handle on how I need to prepare. I think there's always an opportunity before a match to bowl overs out in the middle, warming up, and you kind of do that with it being in mind that you're available if the opportunity presents itself to bowl in a game. So yeah, I guess just kind of always feeling that way and being prepared if it pans out for you to bowl is all that you really need to do. And yeah, I mean, we've been playing solidly, I think, probably for the last 8 months now. So I don't feel like I'm short on cricket or overs. So yeah, it's just like whenever there's a chance to contribute to the team, I guess it's being ready for that. But you do a lot of that work, in the months beforehand.
I request Anisha to unmute herself and ask your question. Please go ahead, Anisha.
Hi, Ellyse. Congratulations on that amazing feat of yours. You haven't bowled a lot in international cricket in the recent years, and you told Mel Jones at the post-match presser last night that you had been, you were walloped a few times and you were performing only once in a while with the ball. With this score, do you think there's a case for Midge to consider bowling you more on the tour of Bangladesh this month and also at the T20 World Cup in subcontinent conditions?
I don't think there's a case for anything. I think probably just back to what I said before, like I played a lot of cricket over a number of years, and I guess like the way that I'd always prepare is to be available to contribute if and when that sort of pans out in a match. We've been really fortunate in the Australian team to have a lot of options. And similarly here, we've got a lot of bowling options with RCB. So a lot of it comes down to conditions, and how things pan out on any given night. Yeah, I guess like from my perspective and what I love, doing as a player and something that, keeps me motivated is just always working on things and trying to get better. And, I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of years working on that. I feel like there's been bits and pieces that have really helped, and I feel confident that at times I can contribute when needed, but at the same time, it's just not a big deal either way. It's just enjoy being a part of a team, and we're all working towards the same goal, and whatever your role is in that is all that really matters.
Go ahead, Kalyani.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations on your 6 for yesterday. This 2 years ago, around this time, you were playing ODI World Cup. Ended up playing only specialist batter. A lot of work has gone in with your bat, of course. of course with the strike rates and all that, and in the bowling. So what kind of work has gone in it with Shelley at the Australian level, and even though Charlotte Edwards was at the another end of the result yesterday, you worked with her at the Sixers level also. So what kind of work, especially in the T20, is gone behind the scenes with Shelley and Charlotte?
Oh yeah, like I think like everyone, you just continually trying to improve and evolve. I feel like in the women's game, it's moving at such a rapid pace in terms of its development. And yeah, I was not talking long ago with Luke about how, you know, even in this competition, it's just shown amazingly so how much depth there is now in the women's game, and how much competition there is. And you know, if you're only a little bit off on any given night, it can really show up. And that's the really cool challenge about it now. You know, we've seen so many contributions in this tournament from players, you know, not just well-established international players, but great domestic talent all the way around India that's coming through and impacting games. So I guess from that perspective, like you just got to keep trying to find little edges and little opportunities to improve or adjust your game to match, you know, the direction that the game's going in. So yeah, some of that is technical and you know, developing skills, and some of that's just like continuing to, you know, be open to change your mindset, you know, and look at the game differently, or look at yourself differently as a player as well. Because I guess when you've been playing for a while and things have gone okay for you, it's easy to kind of get stuck on defining yourself as that player. And you know, one of the cool challenges is trying to stay really open to, you know, what else is possible and how you might need to redefine things to still, you know, be effective. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. It's not any one particular thing. It's just, yeah, always looking for new potential.
Ellyse, a word on Richa Ghosh, who has been in fine form with bat and gloves for RCB.
How good is she? She's amazing. I absolutely love playing with Richa. She's always, you know, got a permanent smile on her face. She contributes so much to the team. She's always laughing and just so supportive of her teammates. I think she's been phenomenal behind the stump. She's affected so many key moments for us with catches and stumpings and runouts. And then with the bat, she's just, yeah, brought a whole another level to her game. You know, from this time last year, the areas she accesses with such power makes her really hard to bowl to, particularly on some of these grounds where the dimensions are, you know, small on one side. But yeah, I like even last night, I think she just completely shifted the momentum of the game in what was a tricky chase. She just came out and played some incredible shots, you know, and she does it so effortlessly. So scary to think that she's so young, because I think she's got an amazingly bright future ahead of her, not just in the WPL, but yeah, it's going to be really tough coming up against her in international cricket when she's playing for India.
Go ahead, Lavanya, with your question, please.
Hi, Ellyse. Hold on. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. You were talking about, you credited a lot of things. You said some stuff went okay for me, conditions were okay for me. When I got going, it just went on. I want to ask you, what do you do when you go back to your hotel room? How do you internally celebrate performances like this? Is there a little fist pump before going to bed, or are you just okay to just brush it off and move on to the next day of cricket? What do these little milestones look like for you individually when no one else is around? Maybe to just process it before going to bed.
Well, last night I had a chocolate brownie with girls and some ice cream, which is good. I think we all enjoyed that. And then yeah, I went to my room and put my red light glasses on and read a few chapters of a book and fell asleep. And I guess that's to say that, like, I mean, it's easy to get really carried away when things go well for you, but I just feel like, you know, a lot of the time you actually don't have that much control over over things panning out well or not. You certainly work hard and put yourself in positions, but there's so many other factors that go into any game and the outcome. So I suppose especially as I've got older, like I don't really want to overreact either way, whether it's a good night or a bad night. The sun, as I said, the sun comes up the next day. Fortunately in this competition, there's always another opportunity. We play games very quickly, and whether it goes well or not, we're so lucky to be out there in the middle. And as I said, with these ridiculously big crowds who are so fanatical about it, and that's a far cry from what it was like when I first started playing some years ago. There wasn't really anyone coming to our games, and certainly no interest in the sport like there is now. So there's so many things to be grateful for, whether it goes well or not. And as I said, I think when it does go well, it just doesn't feel like you've got too much control over it, other than the hard work that you put in. But those events pan out sometimes for you, and sometimes they don't. So it's easy to kind of just I don't know, enjoy it for the moment and when it lasts. But I think life goes on pretty quickly after that.
I was prompted to ask this question, Ellyse. You've been part of many dressing rooms. You've seen all the highs and lows. And in just a span of 2 days, there was heartbreak too. There was absolute elated moments in that dressing room in RCB. So one question that I wanted to ask you was, what really makes this RCB women different when you see as a legend of the game and being part of it? What makes this so different in culture wise? Is there anything that is so different also, if you can highlight and say, people talk about RCB culture, but you've seen everything. Is it at all different? And if so, what is it?
Look, in general terms, I think the girls are very similar to other girls that I've played with in teams. They love what they do. They want to turn up and do their best for their teammates and want to have fun doing it. I think distinctively a big difference is probably how big this amazing franchise is, and that was really evident from the first day that I joined RCB last year. There is just such an amazing level of support and fandom for the club in general. And then I think, what the franchise does as an organization, I've never been in a place with so much, care and attention to their team, and wanting to provide absolutely everything possible to make sure that we play well, but also have a really great time. Like we build team rooms at the hotel that we're staying at so that everyone can hang out and, play table tennis or basketball, or just, sit down and, chill together. At the same time, they'll build us a gym so that you can go and prepare the best you can to make sure that you're in the best physical conditions. So I just think like that sense of care and support is amazing, and that extends right through the organization, but then also with the fans that we have as well. Like regardless of whether we win or lose, they're just there every day to support us, and that's really stood out for me, I guess.
Just to add, sorry, I'm just taking that liberty. Does that really make a difference to all of your performance, even if you're down or out, or you want to just raise up your morals? Does those make those small difference? And how did you see those changes in those young girls, in maybe Shriyanka or Richa or multiple other people there?
I'm sure it does make a difference. Ultimately, like you still got to do that as a team and create that sense and trust amongst one another. That when you step out on the field, like you've got complete confidence in each other, and you also believe in your ability to be able to, play good cricket. I think, to be fair, like with the younger girls, 12 months, as I said, makes a huge difference in our game at the moment. They've had 12 months to develop. I see how hard Richa and Shriyanka and many of the other girls work. Disha, who's come into the team in the last couple of games, like where her game's at, as opposed to 12 months before, there's just such a hunger to to get better. So I think, you know, you combine some of those qualities and, you know, at some level or another, you're bound for success because everyone, you know, wants to do the best for themselves, but also for the broader group. So yeah, every 12 months I think is really exciting, and, you know, not to get too far ahead because we're still in this tournament, but it's scary to think where it might be in another 12 months time as well.
Last question from Purnima. Please go ahead, Purnima, from ClickBuzz. Thank you.
Hi, Ellyse. It's good to see the smiles back after that win and the qualification. Congratulations on that. My question is, there are quite a few genuine all-rounders in women's cricket, but there are very few players, probably a handful only, who can claim to have had a career where they were at one point on top of the bowling charts in ICC rankings, and, you know, at one point they were, you know, one of the best batters, the top rated batters. You're one of that rare category. Which high did you enjoy more, and why, if I can ask?
I've never really looked at it that way, to be honest. Like, without a doubt, the things that I've enjoyed most is the success that we've had as a team in various competitions. You know, at an international level, you know, being involved in World Cup wins, and some Ashes series where we've played particularly well has been incredibly satisfying, and just, you know, I'm incredibly grateful to have been a member of those teams. I also think, you know, without a doubt, being a part of women's cricket in an era where it's just exploded, and you know, to think that I'm sitting here in a chair at the WPL in its second year, and, you know, as I mentioned a few times, like, attracting crowd numbers, you know, well over 20,000, 30,000 people is just like mind-boggling. So, you know, I guess like those rankings and individual kind of success or performances, like, it's so fleeting and in many respects unsatisfying in comparison to, you know, the team experiences that you have where you're successful and you learn a lot about one another, and you learn a lot about yourself. And yeah, so I think to answer your question, like, yeah, neither have been particularly relevant for me. I think more so than anything, it's just like, yeah, having the chance to be a part of all of this.
Thank you, Ellyse, for your time. With this, we conclude our press conference. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care. See ya.